If you're looking for a Kukri under 40 bucks, there's right many to choose from actually that are fairly decent. I just recently did a cold steel Kukri series. I think all of those were in the 30s. Carbon steel Kukris, large. You know, there's others out there, Smith & Wesson, that's pretty good as well at that price range. But we've got one we're going to be looking at today from Hitdudu for 36 bucks. We're going to take a look at this one. Stick around. I took this one out of the package, and I must say I like that design. I like that wooden handle and that black blade. This one is 3CR13 stainless steel. This has an ergonomic wooden handle with a paracord on the end for chopping and things like that. Now this is actually full tang. On the Amazon site, it shows you exactly how the tang is constructed, so it is an absolute full tang. This blade is 9.64 inches. It's about 15.1 overall. And it comes with a right nice leather sheath as well. And there's nothing dull about this one either. This is very, very sharp out of the package. It has a decent thickness to it. For those of you who are familiar with knife thickness and you pay attention to that, this looks to be about 4 millimeters. It didn't say it on the site though. I've got me a dying pine here. Let's go ahead and start working on taking this thing down. You know, pine is very, very durable. But when it gets to this point, you know, it's choppable in a sense with something like this. But man, that's really tearing into that tree. See how it's torn into that tree there. Let's change sides here. Oh yeah. Still paper sharp after that task. Perfect example of what happens when you throw in too close, but it's just gonna chop right in anyway. Let's adjust and back up here a little bit. Much better. Throwing your Kukri is a lot of fun, but I say this in every video, not assuming that you've seen the others. When you throw the Kukri, be careful. These things have a curved blade, and sometimes that could be an issue. My advice though is if you're gonna throw your blades, just get you some stuff that you are just simply dedicated to throwing. It absolutely destroys blades. This thing is sharp, that's for sure. We're good to go. So far, there's no chips in this budget steel. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but towards the end, there's some minor chipping. Maybe you can see that. And, of course, that's probably from the throws. A lot of people don't realize how much more forceful a throw is than a chop and a stab. I've done so much experimentation with it, it's crazy. I'm just going to do a little bit more torture here to see how this steel continues to respond hitting some tough stuff like this. This is leaning and it's almost a goner anyway. I'm just doing this for the video. So here's my final assessment of this particular Kukri. I like it. I like the way it's designed. I like the sheath that it comes with. I like the way it feels. I like the size of the Kukri. I do believe you're going to have your limitations with extended hard chopping. I don't believe this particular steel can handle that. It can definitely handle reasonable chopping tasks, taking whatever limbs you want to take. If you're clearing a path, that makes a great machete for things like that. I don't think it will abuse the blade that much. It's a budget stainless steel. It will lose its edge. You should be able to put a decent edge back on it pretty quickly. I think it would make a great weapon. a great tool for mediocre tasks. I would just stay away from hard, long-term abusive chopping because you're going to constantly have to be working on the edge if you're going to do that. To be straightforward, I think a kukri is really the only type of thing that falls into the knife world that I think is relevant for chopping, but I still believe even a kukri has its limits when it comes to chopping. Now, I'm not talking about chopping on the battlefield, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about chopping heavy wood. And this 3CR13 is just not going to be able to handle a whole lot of that. I see a lot of YouTubers doing extended chopping tests with just regular knives, and I don't really understand that. Unless you're trying to have an all-in-one tool. In that particular case, I get it, but man, I just think keeping a good saw around is the best bet for things like that, or a good hatchet. But if you want your knife to be able to do everything, then I get it. More power to you. This for me is a good, sharp, path clearing kukri. This is a nice handle, but you might find it a little slick. If you're anything like me, you hockey tape everything, so that's what you could do here as well. Even if you wanted to throw it, hockey tape those scales. This is a great working and a great looking tool for 36 bucks in my opinion, and I'll drop a link in the description. What do you think about this kukri? I'd love to hear from you. Take care.